Well, hello there, friends and Ubertubers. Hey, thanks, Jockey. I was stumbling through my usual intro. Short talk in the trailer with an old guy. Hey, who saw that one coming? Um, there's a young lady, I guess, in Japan. That's my best guess. She does these wonderful videos. You guys got to go check them out. If you want to relax, you want to calm down, you want to see what's like real, real green things, real moving animals. And she's got a great one. I love fireworks, and I left her a comment and stuff. But anyway, go see that channel because, I mean, this girl, she's good. She's got a real sense of balance, a real sense of delivery. And I love her comments. It's funny to me that she won't say anything. Perhaps she doesn't speak English. Who knew? But at any rate, maybe she does. But the point is, go see that. And anyway, another call out, Anna Rose and Cindy. And thanks, you guys. I mean, I got at least three viewers. That's pretty good. After 5 months. Cindy asked me a question a few, I think it was days ago. Kind of getting this mixed up. That sounds right. And she asked me, why did you, that would me being, become a YouTuber anyway? Good question. Insightful. And I'm not sure I can answer it right without sounding like complete phony baloney, again. And I do remember this. It's perhaps related. For years, this went on. I've got a box of them around here somewhere. I used to write these essays longhand with pen, about 2.5 pages, average length, on paper. Then I'd go down to the duplicator store, make up about 10, 12, 15 copies of this. And as people were coming into church, see, I'd already captured the point of, I'm going to hand you the bulletin, I'm going to smile at you, I'm going to shake your hand, and pretend to like you. I'm the greeter, okay? Because, the Presbyterians, can they organize that? Well, we hope so, but I haven't seen it yet. And so it's like, look, if this is going to get done, I'm just going to have to do it. So I used to pass out these essays to people, just 2 or 3 page essays, as they were coming into church. I never had any, opposition on it. But in other words, part of my choices as a human being, from probably very early on, probably 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, years old, I decided real early I wasn't going to get married. That ain't going to happen. And it was nothing against women necessarily, although I do have my issues sometimes with the feminine persons. Sometimes they get a little wacky. And so do males. It's kind of contagious. But at any rate, that wasn't what that was about. It wasn't some kind of hate campaign against women. It was like, I remember, here's a discussion. Me and Steve Eglinton, hope Steve's still alive. He's about my age. He lived down the street. And we were gathering together. There was 3 or 4 of us boys on the block. We used to get together, play ball, or go skateboarding, or whatever kids used to do. I think kids basically sit around playing video games nowadays. But we used to go outside and play, capture a butterfly, or go skateboarding, or get your bike and see how high you can jump off the curb. Go faster, go faster. Or play football in the street. Of course, you got to watch out for the cars. Now, we lived, this is so kid-like, we lived probably 432 yards, I just made that up, from a really nice park. It was green and trees and grass and stuff. We could have played football out there until our teeth fell out. But nah, let's play football in the middle of the street. That's the reasonable thing to do. Well, anyway, Steve and I and Gary, maybe Paul was there, I don't know. And we were, hanging around a bunch of 6, 7, 8-year-olds, whatever we were. We were pretty smart. We used to know everything back then. If you ever want to have a funny question and answer thing, ask some little scooter. It doesn't matter, boy or girl. 4, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. Hey, you seem pretty grown up. Do you figure that you've pretty much understood everything? I mean, you don't need any more information, do you? Almost every kid basically believes they're all grown up. They've already grown up, and they're only 7. And it's kind of runs common across there. But anyhow, so Steve and I were talking, and he said, well, his dad was named Bob. I remember that just now, Bob Eglinton. I hope he's still alive. He was a interesting dude. Anyway, he said, when I get big, I'm not going to be mean like my dad was today. Barely got spanked. And somehow I knew. I don't know what queued it up. I don't know where information came from. But I said, nah, that ain't right. You're going to end up more like your dad than he is. Whatever errors we have in our bodies, whatever errors we have in our minds and our souls, and frankly, there's a ton of them, guess what? They get passed down familial lines. And so I thought, as a boy, I thought, well, I frankly am confused about this world. I don't understand what I'm doing here. I don't even like it here. I don't know why we're bothering with this. Who said we have to do this? This is crazy. I mean, living here in this crazy pants world, and darkness. It's just like, why do I have to endure that? Who says so? And so that was kind of my attitude. But I thought, well, if my thought holds true, and I think it will, that the next generation of little Mikes or Mikeettes or whatever my wife's name, I mean, she's going to name the kids anyway, let's face it. And whatever name she comes up with, that's going to roll. But anyhow, never mind. It's like, why would I do that to little kids? I can't hate little kids that strong enough. I'm sorry. I don't have the ability within me to hate little kids that strongly as to bring some more of them into this world. I hate this place. And this is like as a 7 or 8-year-old. And so that kind of framed me kind of early. But what happens is when you cut out the feminine, in other words, I'm not going to marry, there will be no children, I say so. Well, guess what? On the feminine half, we'll call that the right hand. That's my right hand at least. They're logical, and they're planners, and they have dreams, and they see the world differently. And it's really like another perspective, really, to grasp where they're coming from. Because, I mean, they don't think like me at all. Well, not at all. At least we could talk, we could have communication. But what I was getting at is this sparked this separation. There will be no wife. Throw that away. But what happens? Talk, talkity talk. I talk way too much. Perhaps you've noticed. And happens all the time, except like only when I'm awake, usually. And it just seems to me I have a need to speak. Now, please don't think that I'm comparing myself to the prophet Jeremiah, but Jeremiah said something like, your words burn within me. I cannot keep silence. I cannot. And still have integrity as a human. I mean, now he didn't say that, but I just threw that in. But the point is that there's a sense in which the truth of truth, the real of real, the holy of holy. And by the way, we mix up holy all the time. We keep thinking of it as fundamentally a moral / ethical sphere having to do with right behavior. Well, that's included, yeah. But you think that summarizes the topic? You're nuts. And so the true holy, his name, it has to do with his name. I am who am. I am that be. In English, it might hurt your ear, But it would be like, what's your name, Lord God? I be. I be? Dude, what? Heck, use English, will you? Nah. English is a thing that reflects His glory, and when it's faulted and failed and can't comply and deliver the message, well, then it has to be improved upon. So in His be-ness, in His is-ness, He who is, was, and ever shall be, He speaks. That's the way the Bible speaks. He speaks, and what we know, what we as human observers know, as the cosmos and the world and all the life and all the incredible design within life and within the world. I mean, this guy off the scale of scales. Talk about brilliant. Oh, he's incredible. And that's Jesus to you. He changed me. But anyway, when I was a little scooter booter, and I decided, I ain't marrying. I'm not going to do this. What's happening in my head, all this heartache, all this alienation, all this craziness, all this confusion. I'm not going to do that to some little kid. I can't hate him that much. Sorry. Call it a handicap. That was my attitude. But he didn't reject me. You'd think, you kind of go, yeah, gringo, go get rewired. No, there's a place for single people. And there's a place for, in the Bible, it sounds a little sexual, but eunuchs for the Lord. And, that'd be kind of an ambition, wouldn't it? In other words, he calls them pillars. I will make you a pillar in my house. Well, that sounds interesting. I wonder how that job works. Does it have benefits? So, anyway, the short version being, I just have a compulsive nature to talk. Hey, we noticed. And the point being, I don't have anyone to talk to because I ain't got a wife, right? Because, see, the problem would be, now wouldn't it, that if I was married, most of the words would be coming from her to me. I had an idea today. Would you like to talk about a project? There's so many things that we could do differently or whatever. And nothing against the ladies. I'm just saying men, as a general rule, consider women, as a general rule, to be the talkative ones. And men listen. And then they make a decision and they do something. Well, guess what? I'm the talkative one. But we noticed that, didn't we? And so I just, thanks for the idea, Cindy, to, as a topic to kind of spin out, let's examine that. And I think the examination is, I probably failed. Maybe I didn't make such great choices. Maybe I'm a knucklehead. I think of my little brother and his wife, and what a blessed existence it is to have a wife. He's been with that lady. Oh my gosh, I should know this. But I'm a guy. I don't do anniversaries very well. But I want to say they got married in 82 or 83 or 84. No, it was before that. It was like 80. I'm going to call it that. Just made a fact up. The point is that 50 years together, you know what I see? I see two happy, strong, really good people that I admire the heck out of. That marriage has been a charmer, a wonderful thing for both of them and for their children. And even it extended backwards, both for the care of the dad, my dad, who was getting old, and Pat, my younger brother. He became the, what do you call it, power of attorney. He became the power of attorney so he could sign legal documents for Dad. And I used to come up and visit Dad every so often. But Pat was the go-to guy. He was the guy who made it happen. And he made the on-the-ground decisions in time. And he made excellent decisions, by the way. Well, anyway, his lovely wife, I mean, these people rock. I admire that. Every time, not every time, but most times when I go to visit, I like to leave a little message with those people. I say, when I'm around you, what I see is love. I see is partnership. I see a kind of compassion, a friendship, and a joint action. That's marriage. And because they want to. They don't have to. They want to. That's what it was all about. But I thought, what are the odds of me ending up with some, lady who can put up with my dumb ass? I thought, well, she'd have to be like blind, deaf, and dumb and stuff. And I thought, I'm not sure I want to marry a girl like that. But maybe she'd be good. But being up there at Bear Trap and seeing marriages now, some of them 30 years, some of them 20 years, some of them interesting. There was one divorcee, and I'm not going to tell you who, but there was people who showed up there without their spouse because their spouse had nothing to do with that experience back in 1982. I'm now confident. We tried to work that out over the weekend. And I remember being attracted to these young ladies back when and thinking to myself, well, why am I, actually I'm thinking to myself, why am I glad I didn't marry one of them? And it's nothing wrong with them. It's something wrong with me. I've never learned how to give and take and, bounce along without just getting ferociously pissed off. And I don't want to do that to people. I refuse to do that to a woman. And that was the thing. I used to hear all these statistics when I was a kid, growing up in Bernalillo County, Albuquerque, New Mexico. We used to be the murder capital of the world per capita. Oh, that's an impressive statistic. And anyway, today's news says that the South Valley stabbing and serial gunshots may have involved an old disagreement between what were friends previously. So in other words, people get shot, people get stabbed. That happens every weekend, right? And you're supposed to make sense of this as an 8-year-old. It's like I used to scan the newspapers and go, oh my gosh, what a train wreck we live in. I mean, as a world. And this is so stupid. Who's in control of this thing? So I hated God. I mean, it was a reasonable thing to do. But I was wrong. And he proves that every day, doesn't he? But anyway, I just thank you for opening up a kind of a box. Oh, by the way, this might exist. I don't know. I did some essays, not the longhand paper essays, but digital cybertech essays. And I think my website used to be the philosopherplumber.com. It was on the Google blog, anyway, whatever those log things are. I did there might be 20 or 30 essays tucked in there somewhere. Probably still exists. But I can't even figure out A, what the name of the site was, B, how to access it. Cybertech defeats me every day. Remember, if it's digital, it's evil. So, when we think about why I did a YouTube channel, it's like I just need to say words. And, like, it's, for instance, if I'm in a Sunday school class for adults, am I going to speak up? Are you kidding? The question is, are you going to shut up? And it's just somehow in me. It's kind of who I am. And I like talking. I like public speaking. It's really exciting. It's like this total energy rush, man. Oh, but I'm not a good public speaker. I'm actually not really good at a whole lot of things, if you'd like to know. But I would love to get in a position where I can preach Jesus to millions. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, that's kind of our ambition, but in the meantime, we'll settle for 3 3/4. One of the things I did on my video, one of the things I did on the videos that were taken, I didn't film this. I just Googled in average length of Earth year in days. Well, the problem was I was out of the 200-foot radius. I couldn't get into Google. It said, you need to connect to the internet. And I thought, use the memory. So in other words, the sidereal day, and I think that's how you say that, sidereal. But anyway, 365.2378 or whatever the numbers is. So I just rounded it up. 365.24 days per year. That's how many there are. That's close. And so I ran that up as a 40. It came out 14,906.6. Don't forget the 0.6 days since you and I last talked. And I said, let's talk about what changed and let's talk about what stayed the same. He is the one at the heart of our lives who calls us to say, yes. Yes, I want to live. Yes, I want to go through this trouble. Yes, I want to go through this darkness. Why? Because I'm so strong? No, to meet you. That's what he does. He grants patience. He grants endurance. He grants faith. In fact, he grants everything, if you'd like to know. But the point is, what I'm saying is that when we speak into the world, and your world might be friends, your world might be somebody at the grocery store, your world might be some crazy man walking down the street. I don't know. But you speak peace to them in the name of Jesus. He rocks. And he actually starts changing things, and he starts changing you. So here's the answer. Why do I do a YouTube? Because I profit by it, frankly. If I had no viewers at all, none, zero zip, not a zilch, and I think I got a few, I still want to say it because it's like a permanent record. This is what I thought on that day, and I buy it. In other words, you have to believe in order for your own faith to grow. Please hear me. Please open your ears. If you can't hear this, you can't hear anything. Here's the phrase, I buy it. I buy it. That's what I say. So when I'm considering Jesus the Nazarene, did he actually break out of the tomb or not? I mean, did he wake up in a human body or not? The reporters who were there say, yes, it happened. Do I buy it? I buy it. It's real. See, you got to do that. You have to verbally announce your faith. And that means declaring it into the lives of other humans, if need be, but certainly into the life of your own self. Preach the gospel to all creatures, including you. Remind yourself of the good news. This guy rocks, better than that. And he's just so warm, real, and true. He's the best. He's better than that. And so when I want to speak, I want to speak about something that matters. I want to speak about things that are real. Just like with my hands. I want to build things that exist in real-time space and stay there. That's why I do manual labor. But the same is true with words. If you speak and when you speak, you must speak truly from heart center, the real you. And when you do, and you make it plain, this is who I am, you will prosper. Because it's all about him. It's about his glory. It's about his significance. It's about his centrality. Oh my gosh. This guy, I love Jesus. That's all I got to say. But the point is that, I mean, this guy rocks. I mean, it's just astounding. His capacity, his ability, and his goodness. There's nobody like this cat. Trust me. And that needs to be part of your mouth noise. Because everything's out in the world is telling you. I was looking at a thing today about the WHO. They're going to have all kinds of crazy rules pretty soon about what you may or may not do unless you take their miracle juice. At $130 a pop, somebody's buying that. And it gets worse. I mean, the whole Democrat Party's falling apart. Well, actually, there was nothing really holding it together in the first place. But in other words, the wheels are about to fall off. It's like a last clean breath inside the eye of the tornado. What you need to do is to develop good memories right now of what real warmth, of real communication, real friendship was like before the wheels fell off. Things are going to go wacko bad. But he's better than that. And he and you and him, nobody can stop that. You're undefeatable. You're a champion. And you will stand to see him coming in power and grace. Please ask for it. Why not? Why wouldn't you want? Why would any human being not want to see him come in power, in judgment, to wage war in holy fury? Yeah, we're going to shut this thing down right now. That's him. He's the one who sets the expiration date on evil, and he enforces it personally. He knows the dates. He knows the times. You rest in him and you will flourish. This is the testimony of the believers and, of course, of the scriptures, except I'm kind of, reading between the lines here. But you will flourish. And you've got to understand in your heart, that was his idea all along. That's why he came down here, man. It wasn't just to kind of give you a little whiz-bang thing in your head to kind of consider once upon a time if you ever have to. Nah, it's a new center. It's a new reality. It's the way. He says of himself, I am way, I am truth, I am life. What do you mean by that, man? Go and find out and you'll flourish. God bless you. Have a good day.